We're going to take a look at Vue.js, which is upcoming front-end framework, and of late, a lot of people have been moving to Vue.js from frameworks like Angular, Ember, and React, which were the big three frameworks previously. So Vue.js has been created by Ivan Yu, who was formerly one of the main architects of the Angular framework. So basically, he left the Angular team when Angular started working on Angular 2, and he is the main developer behind Vue.js. So Vue has gained a lot of traction recently, and Vue is used by a lot of Chinese companies. Baidu and Alibaba are using Vue on their front end, and some other companies like PageKit, BrowserStack, STDlib have started using Vue on their front end. And recently, GitLab created their entire front end with Vue as well. Vue has its focus on two things. First of all, is Vue is very progressive in nature, just like the introduction page on Vue tells you that you can start with just building a single component. If you want, you can add on a router. If you want, you can add on a Flux library called Vuex, which Vue has built, and you can build on top of all of that. So if you want to just start with Vue, we can just start with Vue. Unlike many other frameworks like Angular or React, we don't need a huge setup. We can create a Vue component in an existing website very easily. So let's take a look. For example, let's make an HTML file, and what we're going to do here is say I have a div. I give it an ID app, right? And this is where basically we would start working with our Vue app right here. Okay. As you can see on the Vue Quick Starter website, we can just use Vue from unpackage like this, and include this inside our page. And, we can create a new Vue app basically like this. Our app is equal to new Vue, and inside that we need to define an element where the app would be used, and we can set up some data and so on. So let's say we have this. This if we render on our website. So that's what basically comes up. Now we can add some things into our HTML like this. So I have this div, and let's say I'm going to add a input box here, input the text type, okay, and a button here. And I have unordered list here. Let me give this an ID. To-do list. This button ID is I don't need IDs right now for here. If we have some to-dos in our data right from the beginning, we can add some stuff like, say, to-dos. And to-dos is basically an array which contains task, say, first task. The value of done is false, and task, second task. Here, the value of done is, say, true. Like that, we have some to-dos here. Like many other frameworks like Angular, which provide a for handler, we can create uh, this a list item, and we can use view binding called v-for, and inside v-for we can write to do in to dos, basically using a loop like this, v-for to do in to dos, right? And here, what I want to render basically is to do dot tasks. So this works like a for in loop, and this page would now look a little like this. Okay, so there is first task and second task inside my website. Now, if I want to basically every time I click on this button, I will take the value of this input box and I will put it into my to-do list. To be able to do that, we can bind the value of an input using a V model, and on the button we can set a click listener. So let's take a look at how that is done in Vue.js. So to take user inputs, first of all, when we want to click on a button and we want something to happen, we can just do v on click, and we can use this syntax. We have to create some methods in our function, which methods we will call. So say we have a method here, and there's a method called add to do out here. Okay. So in this add to do method, let me basically I'm just writing it in ES6 syntax. Firefox would be able to understand. If you're using an old browser, you should probably write it properly like this. That's how you should write it if you want to make it run on old browsers that do not support ES6. Okay, now going ahead, inside this button, let's say we do v on. That is this v on colon click equal to uh, add to do. So this method will get called. Now, your browser mostly would not understand this kind of a syntax because v on is not a not valid HTML right here. But if we run this on our page, what will happen is, let's say in this add to do function, we do to do's dot push the new task. So I'm just hard coding a new task right now here. Okay, and this every time we click on this button. Oh, we need to use this here because these methods are always bound to our current view object. Okay, so click on add. new to-do list gets created. I think syntax was a little wrong. I need to add it like this. Object which has task as new task. Okay. So that works. I can add some new tasks. I want to take the value from this particular input box. For that case, we need to do some input bindings here. To do some input bindings, we basically use a syntax called vmodel. We use vmodel here, our input box, vmodel equal to say new to do. So when you're going to add this dot to do dot push task, and here what you're going to do is this dot new to do. Inside our data, in the beginning, new to do, we must keep an empty string, right? So originally it's just an empty string, and when we add some text, now this will get bound two-way, just like Angular variables are bound two-way. It's similar to that. So we add one more task, click on add, gets added some more stuff that gets added into our to-do list like this. Now let's say we want to show the fact that which to-dos are done and which are not done. That also we can do. So inside our list items, let's say we put this inside a span, and we take a input type checkbox, and we take the value of we have certain properties like checked. Now checked is we don't have to write something like checked equal to something. We don't write like this. We just write checked, and it becomes a check. So if we write it like this, what's going to happen is all the items are going to come out as checked, and if we don't write it, then none of the items are going to come out as checked. Okay. We want it to be checked based on the value of if the done is false or true. And when we put a tick mark on the checkbox, we're going to want that the actual value in our list also gets changed, right? So that we can do with something called vbind. So vbind will bind a particular HTML attribute to some property of that object. So we do vbind checked. So checked, I'm going to bound to the value of to do dot done, and when we are done, we bind to do dot done like this. We first page. So first task comes out as not done, and second task comes out as done, because that's how it is here. And if we add some more stuff, by default we want them to be added with the value of false, done as false, because when you add a new to do, it has not been done yet. You add this, a new to do gets added. Now when we are putting a tick mark, whether the actual model gets changed, whether the data actually gets changed inside the to-dos array or not, that also we can find out. Let's add another button out here. Let's add a button which says flip list. Okay, and inside the flip list button, we're going to use a new method. We call this what's called reverse to-dos, and inside that we're going to do is this dot to-dos dot reverse. Okay, because it's an array, we can call reverse on that. And in this flip list button, we are just going to do v on click equal to the method is reverse to do's. Okay, right. The flip list that works like this. Let's add some more tasks. And let me just put a tick mark somewhere. Let me flip it up. So basically put checked equal to true dot done. That value is not getting saved. So we need to take care of that as well.